Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Green and Tidy, and thank you for listening in. Today, I want to address something that several of you asked me about when I asked all of you what you'd like me to cover in these short videos. And several people said that what they wanted help with was motivation for keeping going. So I'm going to just have a look at a couple of the emails. So Margaret, for example, asked me, how to keep up the momentum when in a long-term declutter and not let feelings of getting there overwhelm you. Yeah, for sure, I really hear that. And Gillian, how to deal with procrastination, which is very similar. And a couple of others of you, it was a really common theme that how do you stay motivated when you take on a long-term project? And I think it's a really good question. So I'm just gonna mention a couple of things that I think really help with that. So the first thing, and it's about a bit of experimentation really, is striking a balance between stretching yourself, because you're pushing yourself to do something that maybe doesn't come naturally to you, or you've always struggled with, or is a big task. So you are going to be stretching yourself, and at the same time setting yourself realistic targets and realistic aims for each day, and a realistic amount of stuff that you're going to try and do that day. So I always say this, don't try and do an entire room or a house or flat, or even, as I say, even an entire room in one day. You're just going to end up frustrated with yourself and exhausted emotionally and physically, feel like giving up. So make your targets reasonable, but don't be afraid to stretch yourself. And if you're stretching yourself, be aware of that, so that if you then fall short, it's like, well, I did take on something really big and maybe it was a little bit too big, and next time I'll take on something smaller. So that's one thing, is to find that balance between stretching yourself and not being too hard on yourself. Another thing is to always focus on your achievements. It's so easy to just be like, let's be always thinking about the next thing to do. So many people I work with, we succeed in transforming an area of their home, and at the point where I say, wow, look, your landing's clear, or your bedside table is clear, how lovely is that going to be when you go to bed tonight? Immediately they look and they go, yeah, and then their eyes drift to the rest of the room, and they're like, but there's so much else to do. And I'm always there saying, I know there is, and this is amazing, and just for the moment, let that in and be with how amazing that is. So it's really celebrating your successes, and the before and after photos I always recommend are so important for that, because I'm not kidding you, even I forget by the end of decluttering an area. When we look back at the before photo, even I'm always amazed at how different it looks. You will forget what it was like before you finish decluttering the area, never mind in a few days' time. So that's another thing. Another thing is to keep the areas that you've decluttered clear. So that's quite challenging. It can be really hard, especially if the area that you've done is a drop zone. But do your absolute best to keep those areas clear, even if it means making another area much worse, so that the areas of order in your home spread out. It's like a wave going through that home until the whole place is clear. So keep them clear if you can. And then the other thing is to involve other people in celebrating your successes. Have a cheerleading squad. Find somebody who will not push you to go any faster than you want to push, preferably not somebody who is attached to the outcome. So not for example, your spouse who's been desperate for you to declutter your whole marriage. And so they're going to be like, yeah, great, what else can you do? Yeah, do more. Not them. Find somebody somebody's on the same journey as you. There's somebody who will be always positive and always there and will cheer you on, and also will prop you up a bit in the times when you inevitably feel down about it. Now, of course, the Declutter Club is a brilliant place for that, because you get to interact with other people who are in the same kind of state of mind that you are, and on the same journey as you are. So that is definitely worth checking out, and I will put a link below this video when I get a moment to that. But it doesn't have to be the Declutter Club. The important thing is to find somebody who is going to be on your team. The 30-day challenge that I'm putting together for you, or in fact I have put together for you, is a great way to experiment with stretching yourself, and how much is it reasonable for me to try and do in a day. You can use that to play with the amount of time that you put to decluttering and organizing per day or per week, or even within a 30-day period. And again, I can't put a link to that yet. So just an update on the development of the 30-day program, which is going to be called Clutter Free in 30 Days. I've done everything that I can do this end to get it ready, and my designer has let me down. I think I mentioned to you that I was commissioning a designer because I'm in with the package of Clutter-Free in 30 days. I'm going to give away a load of freebies. So you're going to get for example, I'm going to give you an ebook which brings together all the things that I have learned over the last, how long have I been doing this? 9 years, 8 years. I think I've been doing this work with clutter and chaos. So I'm bringing all that together in an ebook called 99 Organizing Secrets That You Need to Know to Transform Your Home and Your Life. It's like my absolute top tips for decluttering your home and your life. And I'm going to give that away free as part of the package. And I want it to be really nice for you guys. So I'm getting a designer to make the whole thing like a proper ebook, a proper cover and a proper nice design inside so that it's really nice to read. That's just one of tons of things I'm giving away. And the designer had 2 weeks to get the first draft of the covers and the actual products themselves to me, and waited until the very last minute to come back to me and say they needed more money and more time. So of course now I'm over a barrel because I don't want to delay getting it to you guys. So I've agreed to that, and then they've let me down on the next deadline too. I was right on the point of sacking them and starting all over again, but that would delay the launch by 3 weeks. So I was really, really hoping not to have to do it. And they are starting to send stuff through now. So fingers crossed they will finish in about a week, I'm hoping, and then I can go live. So just an update for you. So there you go. There's some tips for how to keep motivated, how not to get down when you are on a long-term project like clearing a major clutter backlog and getting yourself organized. If you've got other tips, do share them in the comments below this video for other people to comment, and we can share loads of ideas for how we keep ourselves going. And I look forward to seeing you in the next YouTube live. Take care. Keep decluttering. Bye bye.